This presentation will review the functionality of the HMS Guest Services iPad app. This particular app is designed strictly for Apple devices. When the user logs in, they will be presented with this main screen. The main screen lists the options, such as the home screen, which will allow them to see a display similar to the dashboard that is put in the standard of the HMS product, and they can see arrivals, counts. They can also have different setups. Again, management can control what is displayed on this screen. Then returning back to the home screen that are supposed to be checking in for today, I can select a guest. Once I select that guest, it's going to show me the information on file for that guest. It gives me the ability to see their lifetime revenue. I can see their confirmation number. I can see if they have an address on file. If you notice at the bottom, there's a green button that the user can touch that takes them into an edit functionality. This allows them to come into the system and actually update information. For example, if there's a missing address or any of that information. The next panel that displays is the reservation details. If you notice here, it shows the room type, the rate, their check-in date, their check-out date, their average rate, and their total for their stay. Down at the bottom, you have the ability to edit the room, which actually brings up a mini room rack just like in the standard HMS solution. Again, we're mirroring the functionality that's available in the HMS solution to literally let, with this guest service agent app, employee go either out into the property. They could be checking guests in a room, they could be in a meeting room checking in a group, or they could be line busting. This also, if you notice at the top of the screen, you can see where there's a Wi-Fi communication showing. This does work with your secure Wi-Fi, and it is available also for cellular technology. So if you want to use this in an airport shuttle, a limousine, or some other way, you can actually take this off property if it's configured for that functionality. I also have the ability to generate keys. We currently work with the Igenico Salto key system that allows us to cut keys. This is also very carefully done so that you can actually encode the RFID keys, and you can set the type of keys and generate how many you need. I will display this at a later point when we're going through the settlement function. Now, in the settlement function, when I click on this option, you'll see where I have the details of the credit card. There's currently a MasterCard on file. If I click on the Edit Settlement function, it then goes in and it allows me to swipe a new credit card. Again, I will be showing you the display momentarily, and after I swipe the card, you'll see where it updates this information after I click on Press Swipe the Card, and then it generates the information and it updates it into the system. If you notice, it has replaced it with an American Express. Now again, you have this functionality here as well. Integration is available for the Guest Services app that allows you to use a key encoder as well as credit card swipes. The key encoder and credit card swipe unit being displayed now is the Igenico unit, which works with the Salto key system. It's currently being displayed in a Mosey slide that also holds the iPad and the device, and there's a place for your hand to make ease of use. If you notice on the center section, it shows where the key encoder can actually generate the key, and on the right hand side, the final slide shows where the key encoder also can swipe the credit cards, and it is chip and pin compliant. For those properties that do not have a key encoder functionality that is available for RFID keys, we do support the iDynamo credit card swipe. Another functionality we have in HMS is you have the ability to have up to 11 folios. Because of that functionality, we've also given you the ability to edit the settlements. So this way you can have different credit cards or different requirements on each one of the different folios directly defined. We all know that when you can set up the information correctly during the check-in and all of the billing is done correctly, then when it comes to checkout, it's a much easier process. You also have the ability to use, at the bottom of the screen, you'll notice there's some different icons. So if I click on the last icon, it jumps me over so I don't have to swipe. You do have the ability, again, this gives you ease of use, and you can see here if there's notes on files, this guest has messages, maybe they have add-ons. In this case, it could be they're on a package. We also support the ability to have electronic registration cards and electronic folios. By selecting the registration card, it opens up a window that actually displays the registration card for the guest service agent and the guest. They can review the information, make sure everything is correct. They can see the terms and conditions. At the bottom, there is a place where the guest can either use a stylus to sign their name or they can use their finger. Once the registration card has been uploaded, then it is attached to that guest stay record for future review. I will now return back to the main listing on the iPad, and I can see one of the next options I have is in-house. What the in-house option allows you to do is a guest could be walking through the lobby and they come up to you and say, I lost my key. Well, with our function, we can then come over here because we have our Salto and Genico key encoder. I can generate keys for this guest. Of course, you have your standard security policy where they would then come in and show you your ID. But we also give you the ability, if the guest is not happy with their room, you could actually do a room change from here. You go into the system, it opens up the room assignment just like it does in the standard system. I can select the room and then it generates this information, says, do you want to move the guest to the new room? I'll say yes. And easily and quickly, I've just set this guest to a new room. You also have the ability to add notes, modify notes, add messages, see their different documents they have on file, see if they have any add-ons. Again, it's wonderful functionality for managing your in-house guests as well. Same thing coming back to the screen for checkouts. When I go to a checkout screen, I see the guests who are due to check out today. I'll pick the guest I want to check out. It shows me their balances. Again, I can change their settlement if I want to change from a credit card, or in this case they were using cash and now they want to use a credit card. I can also see their notes, their messages. And again, we have the electronic folio function. When I select this, it opens up the folio, and then it displays the folio with the items that the guest is responsible for. You can sign this, again, with a stylus or their finger, click on submit, and it up to the database just like it did the registration card. We'll go back to the main screen again, and this time we're going to select our housekeeping function. We actually have two pieces for housekeeping. This is the guest service agent app, and this particular screen that I'm showing you is showing the functions for like a housekeeping supervisor. They're walking through the floors, they're looking at the rooms that have been assigned. They can come in and change and select and say, I just want to show the pre-assigned rooms, and then it'll go through and it'll resort everything. Or I can come in here and I could change this, and I want to just see all of my rooms. I could see rooms that are assigned by an individual employee. I can see by service type. Again, giving you full flexibility. But the idea here is you could be walking down the floors, you've got the supervisor, and they come into the room and they see, oh, this room is not really clean. It's been set for inspection, so I'm going to change this. I'm going to say it still needs to be picked up. And again, I can still leave it for Julie May, or I can assign it to another staff member. Then I could be going through a room and I can see here that room 108 that's checked out is still on a do not disturb. So again, I can set the do not disturb. Again, giving you flexibility for managing from your housekeeping supervisors. The next function I'm going to show you is posting. When you have a system and you have staff members where they're going up to the rooms, they're delivering laundry, they're delivering water, this function allows you to literally let them post the charges directly through the folio from the iPad app. So I select the guest, I can then select the folio. For example, I'm going to select the guest folio. I can select the transaction. In this case, I'm going to say it was a sundry food item. Maybe I'm delivering chips to the room or for whatever reason. Again, this is not a point of sale. This is strictly a posting function. So I'm going to say it's $5.33 and submit the posting. So very quickly and easily, I've then gone to the guest room. I've supplied them with laundry. I've supplied them with something that I need to charge them for, and I can post this to them. Again, it eliminates the need for them to have a clipboard and write the information down and then take it down to the front desk or to the workstation and post the charge. We also have the ability to do reporting. Now keep in mind I said we can run this also on from the standpoint here where I'm on my AT&T cellular, I could be at home. Maybe I'm not feeling well. So I'll go into reports and I'll open the reports and I'll say, I want to see who is arriving today. Maybe I need to review this for whatever reason using the standard report functionality that Cognos provides in our HMS workstation app. I can then see the same information. I can do the same selection criteria. I'm just going to click on preview, and now what it's going to do is it's going to give me a list of the arrivals remaining for today. When it does this, I can then open it up to full screen. And again, one of the things an iPad is known for is pinch zoom. So I can click here and say, oh yeah, oh, Mr. Anderson is coming in. He's a VIP. I need to let the front desk know they need to deliver something for him. And again, I can go back and generate all kinds of reports that we built into the system from here as well. I'll also go into our concierge module. Again, this is the same module that's in the front office on our standard workstation. What this does is it uses Bing Maps, and if you notice I have here where I've got a push pin which shows my address of my property. You can have many different locations or areas of interest that you can put in to your system, and the guest could be walking up to you in the lobby and say, you know, I want to go golfing. Where is the nearest golf course? And you could tell them, well, the closest one is the Presidio. And then it shows the map, and you can show them on the iPad, and over here it has the information regarding the payments, the fees, types of information. We also have the ability right from here where I can email a copy of this to the guest. It opens it up, it brings up that information, and I can say, can I just email this to you? It shows the map, it shows all of this. They can put the email on file and then send it to the guest. Again, flexibility here when it comes to managing this kind of function for guest services in your lobby. Next, I'm going to show you what we have for our lost and found. Again, housekeeping, your supervisor's walking through the floors and somebody hands them a piece or an item that was found in a room, and it was a baseball hat. You can literally come in and record it. And again, this can be shared with everyone who has access to HMS, because no matter who picks up the phone and they get a call from a guest, you can actually come in here, see the details. I can see what room it was found. I can see the information about it. I can see the details. I can also see if it's been found, where is it being stored, if it's been returned. Again, same functionality that's in the standard workstation. Then the last but not least is we actually have work orders. In the system, we actually have the ability where I can store work orders, I can add a new work order, I can look at existing work orders, I can update this work order, make changes to it, I can see if it's been assigned to an employee, I can also see the details, where it is, what the location is, I can add comments, and I can also add documents. We also give you the ability to take a picture. So if there is something wrong in the room and they go in, for example, they say the light bulb is broken, it could be that maybe somebody just broke the lamp. So this gives you the ability to take a picture and add it to the work order so that the staff member who's going to be assigned to fix it actually knows what the process is to do for the repair. Again, the HMS Guest Services app gives you multiple functionality and literally lets you untether your staff, send them out into your property to let them service the guest wherever they are and for whatever needs to be processed for them. Thank you for reviewing this HMS Guest Service Agent app.